I don't know if this is where we send our questions for a video answer, but what do you do when you have a partner who dismisses your feelings and then gets defensive when you assert yourself?
Questions. Oh, look, it's Korean alfalfa this morning. Either via Instagram, they ask me a question when I post out my stories, or on TikTok, the questions link button on my bio. Those are the only ways. If you DM me or email me, it's gonna get lost. So that's how I get questions for these. First, there's two pieces here. First, you have to address that he doesn't address your feelings. Of course, it would be better with a mediator, like a therapist, couples counselor. But if he's not willing to do therapy with you, then let him know, this is how I feel, and I want you to address that first, right? This is how I feel. Just please hear me. Please let me know you understand that without buts, without being defensive. See if you could do that. The second piece is, if he's always defensive, you have to call him out on it. You have to say, hey, listen, you're defending all the time, and this pattern of defending makes me feel alone, and it makes me feel like we're not growing and evolving together, but there's just a lot of blaming, right? So when people are defensive, it's impossible to own, you know? I struggle with this. I'm defensive all the time. It's really hard to break patterns, and so most likely it's not that he's a bad person, it's not that he doesn't want to hear you. It's probably the result of his knee-jerk, him being defensive in other areas as well for most of his life is what you're getting. So sometimes it requires a therapist to call people out on their shit, and or a relationship coach, or anyone who's gonna say, hey, listen, this isn't working for you. You're doing this all the time, and it's preventing your own growth, right? He needs to have that revelation for him to want to change. You can offer it, but it's really hard to hear that from our partners. We have to hear it from a neutral party, and that's why therapists and counselors and coaches, that's why they're so important with this process. But here's what you can do. You can express what you need. You can express that he's not addressing your self-expression. He's not addressing your feelings. And you can also express that you notice he's being very defensive. Ask him how you can support him in changing